Thank you very much. Silas, just to confirm, can you get me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure. I do appreciate you and everyone on the call as well. I do appreciate you. It's really amazing having everyone present here and looking forward to learning from one another. And the topic which I'm going to be sharing with you today, it's something which, transformed me when I first learned this. And today I'm really happy, to learn or to share this with all of you. I'm going to be sharing, let me share my screen. And as I go ahead, most probably I share my screen with you real quick, talking about service, and this is all coming from the fact that, I first found cure before I found cure, it's about 7, to 8 years today, when I first found out that I had hepatitis B. I was suffering with hepatitis B, and, you know, after, confirming this in several hospitals, it had already begun affecting me psychologically that I believed that I wasn't going to live up to the age of 40 years old. I already began preparing my family for my departure, you can imagine, and that all changed, when I came across a video, of someone testifying, and I'm going to be sharing with you how important videos are, how we can serve. I came across a video on someone sharing, who had the same hepatitis B, consumed a certain product which then I never knew about. And after 2 weeks, went over to the hospital and it was regularized. I saw testimonies with diabetes, hepatitis, and I said, I tie myself to these same testimonies and I'm going to have the same results. I went ahead, I purchased these products and consumed them. After 1 month, 1 week, I went back to the hospital and finally I had the doctor, after several checkups, finally I had the doctor tell me, your results are good. You no longer have hepatitis B, That was a miracle. That was a dream come true, and since then, it's become, a moral responsibility for me to be able to share this with others, for me to be able to use this as a medium, as a gift to share this with others. So it's on this basis that today I'm going to be sharing with you, how we can, view this from a different point of view. And yeah, you know, you may be on this call as usual. I don't know what your dreams may be, but it's very possible that you are looking at a possibility, you are looking at an opportunity which can provide you, good health, the opportunity to live longer, the opportunity to live the dreams, travel around, have the dream car of your dreams, the dream house of your dreams. All of this is possible. However, there is this there is something, there's what I'm going to be sharing with you. You may be going through some struggles which I'm going to share with you, and you're going to discover one of the reasons why you are struggling, the difference between a sales mindset and a service mindset. So I recently enrolled, in a leadership program with Bob Hellick, and I am really excited, learning out loud. This is learning out loud. And what I will be sharing with you today is some of the takeaways I have learned, and which are very remarkable, life-changing aha moments, transforming moments. This has transformed the way I look at what I do in my business. And my mission for this call is, that by the end of this call, you will know how to make the shift from a sales mindset to a service mindset in your business and in your life in general. So talking about a sales mindset, right? Having a sales mindset is one of the number one reasons why hobbies, when I talk about hobbies, it's, most probably, uh, most probably network marketers, who get into the activity just as a means to pass time, or just as a means, they don't really look at it as a business. They don't take it serious. To them, it's just a moment for them, just to occupy themselves from the fact that they are not doing anything. So hobbies struggle with recruiting, and growing their teams. It's also the reason why they don't develop any strong leaders. For you to be able to have a strong team, for you to be able to live the dreams you've always wanted to, for your business to run as a business without you, you need to have strong leaders. So changing your mindset from a sales to a service requires you to think about what you do in your business in a totally different way. And I'm going to move you through the steps on how to do that. But it will absolutely transform your results. You're going to see complete different results. You're going to feel it coming, and you'll be able to feel that you're on the right path. So talking about, misconceptions, misbelief about network marketing, one of the biggest misconception which people have about network marketing is that it is a business limited to sales and marketing, and it is not. Network marketing is not limited to sales and marketing. All hobbies, amateurs, operate from this fundamentally flawed belief. It's this wrong belief. And most probably, for you to be able to determine if you're functioning from this belief, this is how I actually discovered that I had this shortcoming in me. Do either of these scenarios sound familiar to you? Most probably you have had success acquiring customers. You've actually gone out there and you've had people purchase these products, right? But you are struggling with recruiting. You are struggling with having team members, people who will join your team to do the same thing. Or number two, have you had success personally recruiting? So you've actually successfully recruited people to join your team, but you have not duplicated your team, meaning that they joined your team, but they have not been able to do the same thing which you do, because that is the only way you'll be able to finally have that financial freedom, that personal freedom, have that time to, enough time to do the things which you actually love to do, to be a parent, to be a father, to be a mother. So both of these examples, are telltale signs that you are currently having a sales mindset in your business, and there is no other possible cause. So if having a sales mindset actually affects your business negatively, so what is that new belief which you should have? Network marketing is not so much a business of sales and marketing. Network marketing is not so much a business of sales and marketing, but instead it is a business of service and leadership, right? So when you combine all of these, service and leadership, to network marketing, then you have a complete view of what actually this is. So that is not to say that sales and marketing are not important. So don't quote me wrongly. I'm not saying that sales and marketing is not important. They are actually important. But however, amateurs, focus almost all their time on these things, ignoring the others. And that is why they do struggle. So something important happens when you make the shift from a sales to a service mindset. You begin to focus more on other people's results. And it's very, very critical. Once you move from a sales to a service mindset, you realize that you are no longer thinking about yourself. Rather, you're beginning to think about other people's results. You're no longer thinking about your results. You're beginning to think about the results of the new persons who join your team. And To really demonstrate this, I would like to share with you this quote, which I got from the book, The Return to Love, which is written by Marianne Williamson. She says, when we are working solely for money, our motivation is getting rather than giving. When we are working solely for money, our motivation is getting rather than giving. The miraculous transformation here is a shift from sales mentality to a service mentality. So until we make this switch, we are operating from ego and concentrating on the things of this world rather than love. This is really powerful. So we are afraid when we begin to act and think this way, we are afraid of either failure or success. If we are closer to success, we will fear success. Right? If we are closer to failure, we will fear failure. So it's very possible, I'm very sure you've come across really people whom you see that they are wealthy, they have the money, they have everything which, a normal person will think that that is success, but they are not happy. You realize they are still completely stressed up, right? That is because they are functioning or they are operating from a sales mindset. So the issue is not success or failure. The issue is the presence of fear and its inevitability where love is absent, And this is a quote from Marianne Williamson. So, talking about service, should you move from sales to service? What actually is service? Service is the beginning of impact, contribution. It is literally the reason why we exist, that we do exist. If you're actually looking for your purpose in life, service is the beginning point. Offering value. Service is what brings joy. You realize that when you serve people, when you provide value to people, you feel joy, it brings connection. You begin to connect with many other persons. You begin to connect at a different level with your family members, your wife, your children, your parents, your family members, your friends, your co-workers. And the service, brings a sense of purpose to our life, just like I was already saying. So the quickest and easy way to build influence, for you to be successful, you need to build influence. You actually need to have influence on your prospects, on your leads, on your warm market, your family and your friends. So the easiest way to build influence, with people as a leader is to serve, just as simple as that. And I'm going to give you really simple examples, simple things which you can do on a daily basis, day in, day out, in order to add value to people's lives. So talking about a service mindset, every act of service, reinforces our sense of self-worth. And it also helps us fall in love with the process of building our business. So when rather you think about, when you're approaching someone to talk to someone, you're approaching, most probably your aunt, your uncle, or your boss, to present your business, to present your product, to present your opportunity. And you're looking at it from a service point of view. You're looking at it from a point of view that you are providing a solution to that person. You realize that it takes away the fear. It gives you more self-worth. You feel comfortable, you're providing value, and it helps you fall in love with the process, of building your business. So having a service mindset is essentially about putting others' needs before your own. You realize that you no longer concentrate on yourself. You no longer give attention to the way you are feeling. At that point in time, what it occupies your mind is how you can help the person who you are about talking to. So people that have a sales mindset, have a primary focus of getting. And that is driven primarily by their limiting beliefs of scarcity and fear. You know, when you feel you have that fear that you don't know what you're going to eat the next day, you don't know how you're going to pay your rents, you know. So all of that fear begins to occupy your mind. And when you get out there to talk to people, your mind is rather covered with the fact that you need to get something from that person. And that's why you realize that you tremble, and in the final analysis, you may not even talk. But when rather you concentrate on the fact that you are about giving that person a gift, you know, you're about giving that person a gift, you realize that even if your mind tells you not to do it, subconsciously within you, you feel that you're doing yourself a disservice not telling that person about it. So as a result, you know, amateurs, you know, focus the majority of their time on activities that create personal results. So, you know, if you have a sales mindset, it's very possible you're going to have results, but it's going to be personal results. And this will never translate to success of people in their team. You realize that if you stop doing the activity, you stop having results, you stop having income, everything in your team dies off. So why is it that the sales mindset fails? Here is the reason why having a sales mindset will always fail. You know, most people, you know, most of the time, most of the people that join or that will join your team are not sales types, right? So if you are teaching them only sales techniques, you know, duplication will always break down in your business. So if you're teaching your team members only sales techniques, you know, you always have them quitting, because not all of them, majority of the people are not sales types. So most people simply cannot do what you did to create success. And here are some of the common sales techniques. And you know, attraction marketing, which is important, but it's a sales technique. And the influencer marketing strategies, you know, this is actually good. You know, focusing mostly on personal skills and personal recruits, if this is what you occupy your mind completely on. Sharing your products or business without using third-party tools, meaning you are the expert, you you are the person, you know, doing all the presentations. Spending a lot of time on social media creating content, you know, cold messaging prospects, you know, spending each and every day, you know, you don't talk to your warm market. Each and every day, you're talking to completely new strangers. So, what is the problem with sales techniques? If actually I've shown you these techniques, what actually is the problem with these techniques? You know, you can actually make money using sales techniques. It's very possible. Even a lot, personally, I have, you know, even a lot of money. You can make so much money from sales techniques. But here is the problem that arises: your business will never run without you. You know, it requires you to show up every single month, you know, taking action to recreate those same results. If you stop, your income stops, the team stops, everything stops. So here is what I want us, you know, here is what I want us to understand. If a business does not run without us, you know, it is not a business, it is a job. And you know, at this point in time, it's even a worse job. It's even worse than, you know, the government jobs or the jobs we have in a private sector, because, you know, at least when I go to work, I know that at least from 8 to 5 p.m. After 5 p.m., you know, within that time, you are free. You know, on weekends, from Friday 5 p.m. Monday, you know, you don't have to think about work. But in this case, it even becomes worse, because on Saturdays, Sundays, if you don't work, you realize that there is going to be a serious shortfall in your results for that month or for that week. So if we are good enough, we can build up our income to a few $1,000s, you know, if you are actually good enough with sales techniques, using sales strategies, and you can actually earn a nice living. But now all of that will not stick. You will realize that you start to realize that you cannot do this on your own. After some time, you begin to realize that you cannot do this on your own, and you will be totally overwhelmed with everything you have to do each day to keep your business afloat. You realize if you're not there each and every day you wake up, you have to do one and the same things. If you don't do it, if you don't coordinate, or most probably even if you have some employees which you inserted to do your processes, you realize if you're not there, things won't move. So until you make the shift, from a sales to a service mindset, nothing you do will make much of a difference in the long term. So actually, for you to have success, having a sales mindset, created from fear, and I've already shown you how fear, scarcity can actually lead you to concentrate on the sales mindset. It will also cause this limiting belief. It will lead you to begin to think that success is a byproduct of time and effort, working longer and harder. You realize you tell yourself that you need to work longer. When I began this, I'll spend nights, I'll spend the whole day, the whole weekend from Friday nights to Sunday night, working on processes, working on processes, working on processes. You begin to believe that if you don't do this, if you don't put in more time and effort, you won't be able to get success. And that is not true. Rather, success is a byproduct of love and service. Because by service, by adding value to people, you're planting seeds which are going to, yield results when you are not working, or when you no longer have the strength to do those things. So these things are in no way connected to the amount of time which you put into your business. Loving people, serving people has no relationship, no connection with the amount of time which you put into your business. So many of us are struggling right now because we do think that we have to choose between being a successful business person or a great parent or spouse. Yeah, most probably you're thinking that at the moment, you need to concentrate. Most probably you need to keep your family aside and concentrate on your business and do everything that your business succeeds. You Most probably you think you need to compromise being a parent, being a good parent, being a good dad, being a good spouse, being a good brother, being a good sister in order to make your business work. But however, this is an opportunity for you to be able to build a lifestyle. You want to talk about lifestyle, the way you live your life, the way you live your day, the activities which you have within your day, which you don't want to depart from. So it doesn't have to be that way. It shouldn't be that way. And here is the truth about the very best people, true leaders in this profession. When we look at Amy Perez, when we look at, the Gates, the most successful people in this profession, do not look at themselves as salespeople, right? And you get this when Amy Perez talks. Every time she speaks, they always mention the moral responsibility to serve, to share this with others. And I'm going to share with you how your products and your opportunity is actually a gift and a way of serving humanity, serving your family and friends. So successful people view sharing their products and business with people as a form of service, you know. So this is where everything begins to transition. You shouldn't looking at sharing your products or sharing your opportunity as a means of getting a sales. Rather, you will struggle. But if you switch and think about it as rendering a service to someone, presenting your product, giving the person the possibility to be able to reduce the aging rate, the possibility to be able to increase your lifespan, the possibility to be able to, avoid, the headache of, commuting to work, moving to work, spending 1 hour in transportation, in the taxi, moving to work. Actually, you're giving that person an opportunity, you're serving that person. So the most successful people in this profession, do not look at themselves as salespeople. They view sharing their products and business with people as a form of service. Because of that, they focus the majority of their time on complete different things, from which amateurs do. They understand that if what they do works for them, but for the people in their teams, then it is not working. If what they do work for them and does not work for their team members, then it is not working. So the biggest difference between them and amateurs is that they focus on systems. Systems are the only path to experiencing duplication and time freedom in your business. There's a prospecting system, there's a marketing system, there's onboarding system, there's a retention system, follow-up system. So they focus their attention on systems because that is the only way you can really experience duplication. So without the proper systems in place for training and support, the people on your team are always going to struggle to see success. So having shared with you the sales mindset and also shared with you the service mindset, how can we link, prospecting and a service mindset? How can we link, you getting out there to add value to people with the art of prospecting? So let us talk about what having a service mindset looks like when it comes to prospecting. Maybe when you looked at the title of this training, you immediately thought about, relationship building. I'm very sure most probably your mentor most probably would have told you about relationship building, and maybe you already told yourself, I already do that in my business. For most people, yes, service. When you hear the word service and putting others people's needs before your own, and actually get stuck in constant relationship building mode. I'm not teaching you this most probably to get out there and stay within in the relationship building mode. Do not get out there and spend weeks engaging in small talks with people, but do not get stuck in that very place, building, especially building on social media, or even when you're talking to people physically, having social conversation. It's always very important. The very first step is to connect. When you connect with someone, most probably just wishing the person a happy birthday if it's the person's birthday, or just wishing the person a good morning, or just telling the person it's been a while, we haven't connected. The next thing is to, build relationship, asking the person where the person is located, which town the person is living. That is all falls in building relationship. But we shouldn't get stuck in that relationship building mode. That is not service. We must understand the true nature of service. And having a service mindset means that we literally feel like we are doing people a disservice if we do not share what we have with them. So staying around asking how you're doing, how is your wife, how is the children, how is your husband, just hanging around the relationship, you're actually doing that person a disservice if you do not end by sharing your opportunity or your products with them. So having a service mindset actually requires you to take action, while having a sales mentality or mindset will always cause you to struggle with fear when prospecting. Certainly, you always have fear when prospecting when you have a sales mindset. Because you have your back, at the back of your head that talking to this person, your primary motive is to get something from that person. But if at the back of your mind, you know that you're giving that person a gift, a possibility to be able to improve, their immune system, certainly you begin to feel that it is your moral responsibility to pass across that message to that person by all costs. You look for all means to be able to pass across the message. So relationships are the starting point of service. So when you start to build a relationship with somebody, that is just the starting point of serving that person. But for this process to work, you actually have to go even a step further. Just like I was telling you, you need to go a step further. So service is adding value to the lives of others by helping them solve problems. And when we talk about problems, it's actually most probably one of your assignments, okay? One of your assignments should be able to actually state what are the problems which are products, clients, Pure Excel, what are the problems which they do solve? What are the problems which are opportunity to solve? And then we get out there and we add value, to our family members, our friends, people whom we meet, we add value to their lives by helping them solve those problems using these products and our opportunities. So this definition is based on this universal truth that people do not buy products and opportunities. Yes. They buy solution to their problems. Many a times, even the sales which have successfully made, most at times the people who actually do buy those products, they don't really look at it as if they're buying Pure Excel, they're buying Cleanse. In the back of their minds, they do have a problem. They are actually paying you for the solution to their problem, and the products is just a means for them to achieve it. So the reason why amateurs struggle with recruiting is because they focus most of their time selling people on futures and benefits, telling people Cleanse is actually made from Cascara Sangrada, prospects or leads or family members are not interested in that. Yes, in future, they may be interested to actually know what those products are actually made from. But at the moment in time when you are actually prospecting them, they are not interested in that at that point in time. They want to know how can that solve their problems. So all of this is a byproduct of sales mindsets, and essentially you are acting like a salesperson. So when we make the shift to a service mindset, we actually stop acting like a salesperson. Most probably, a minute, please. So when we make the shift, to a service mindset, we actually stop acting like a salesperson and we begin, to lay our focus, on becoming a paid problem solver. You're a paid problem solver. Your bank account begins to grow as a byproduct of the fact that you are solving problems for people. So the money we make in our business the money which we make will simply be the byproduct of us solving other people's problems and helping them transform their lives. We have to truly care and be passionate about helping people solve their problems. Really passionate and really care about them. Listen to them. What is the problems they are going through? Do they have, a difficult boss? Do they actually have difficulties meeting up with their bills? Do they need a second source of income? Pay attention to it and lay emphasis on that problem so that they really feel that you are listening. So even if that means the solution that they are looking for isn't your product or your opportunity, very important. We will come across this so many times, they may even need your product, they may even need these products and this opportunity, but it may not be the right time. That doesn't mean that we stop, providing value to them. And they're talking about the no response, for amateurs, the process stops the moment someone tells them no. Talking about the amateurs, they also stop caring about that person's problem and move on to the next prospect. Most of the time, that prospect doesn't hear from them again until, you are ready to prospect them again. You know, most probably when we begin in network marketing, you're told that you need to follow up, right? That it's the goal is in the follow up, right? And you're told that you follow up every 3 months or every 6 months. 3 months is enough time so that the person should have really forgotten the very first time you did the prospecting. So most of the time, what amateurs do is, you know, once the person tells you no, you forget about the person and you only come again after 3 months. The person only hears from you again the next time you're about prospecting him or doing your follow-up on your products or your business. So service and prospecting requires you to look at situations like these very differently. You know, having a service mindset means that you look at no as the beginning of the process. When the person tells you no, that is just the beginning of the process for you to even add more value. And I'm going to be sharing with you the kind of resources which you can actually be sharing with this person, which will be adding value to that person. So think of it this way. If we truly care about helping people, why will that stop the moment we find out that they are not interested in what we are offering them? Why we will stop, you know, reaching out to them when we find out that, you know, they said no, they're not interested in the products, they don't want to buy the products, they don't want to join the team. So if we truly do care about them, you know, we will not actually stop. We will continue right along, helping them look for another solution, because our mind is not filled with having a sale. We are rather concentrated on providing value to them. We've seen that they need something. They are actually looking for something. So our focus shifts from making the sale to actually doing everything we can to solve the problem. So most people we know do not look down on network marketing. And this is very true. Most people do not look down on network marketing. They look down on network marketers, right? People that are doing it the wrong way with a sales mindset and rather creating very bad experiences for people in every interactions that they have with them. And this is what causes people, you know, to begin running away from network marketers, and they are not actually running away from network marketing. So what is your goal? What should be your goal, you know, from this training of today? So let me leave you with this thought. What if you make it a goal, you know, to try and add value to every person that you meet? You know, it's your goal, and the key word is try, not that you must. You just try to add value to every person that you meet. You see, it is the efforts and the attitude that actually counts. Just the fact that, you know, you put in efforts, the efforts which you put in, you know, trying to add value to someone, that is what you can tick it. You can give it a tick that you've actually done your work. So that might be, you know, something as simple as a smile, you know, or a kind word, or some compassion, you know, just giving a listening ear to someone. So this service mindset actually forces you, you know, to put others' needs before your own. And once we truly embrace these things and begin to implement them, our business and life will never be the same again, you know. And here is the encouraging part about all of this is that no matter how bad, you know, you may have been in this area, no matter how bad your mindset may have been, with a bit of intention and effort, you can actually change things to your favor pretty quickly. It's very possible to do a very quick change with just some little effort and intentions. So at the end of the day, here is the truth about your business. Your network will ultimately determine your net worth. The quality of your network, the people whom you know, will ultimately determine your net worth, the quality of your bank account, right? So talking about bank accounts, and we're talking about serving people, so we're talking about relationships, relationship building. So I'd like to share with you a concept, a special concept, which I learned. I learned this. I listened to it from YouTube. Is relational accounts. And what are relational accounts? You know, think of relational accounts like bank accounts, and only instead of money, we are talking about relational capital. So you have one of these accounts with every person in your life, every person, your wife, your children, your mom, your dad, your friends, your colleagues. You have one relational account with them. And every interaction which you have with someone, you are either creating a positive or a negative experience, right? So positive interactions make deposits into that account, and negative interactions make withdrawals from that account. And just like a real bank account, you have the opportunity to build up your account balances over time. And at any time you go to someone and you want to share your products, you know, ask them to join your business or ask them for help, I would like you to think about it as trying to make a withdrawal, you know, from your relational account. So now here is the thing. If you have done a good job serving and focusing on other people's needs, you have built up that account balances, and then you will be very happy with the results when you go to ask for help. But the problem is, if you have not, then you will not get any good results. You know, for example, if you went to, you know, if you went to the bank or your credit union or any microfinance where you have a bank account, and you open an account and you never deposited any cent into it, then you know you get to the counter and you write a check and you give it to the teller, you give it to the cashier, and then the cashier tells you, sorry, we cannot cash that check, sir. Would you really get mad at the teller? Certainly you won't, for sure. So here is the thing, what do we do? In our lives, you know, we are not conscious about the same principles, and we do not live our lives this way. We do not serve consistently, and then we get mad, you know, at our family and friends because they do not want to support our business. You know, we get mad because we cannot get any of our followers, most probably you have followers on social medias, to join. So it actually requires us to start looking at this in a complete different way, you know, to change from looking at this from a sales mindset to a service mindset. So what are some examples on how we can give, we can serve, we can deposit? You know, showing sincere interest and love or care for another person. This is very important, right? Being trusted, being a dependable friend, a family member, a co-worker, you know, is a form of serving. It's a form of depositing, creating deposits into your relational account, going out of your way to help others, right? Sharing content on social media that adds value to other people. Live videos, very, very important. When, you know, just learning something, you most probably go to YouTube or you just Google how to improve your self-confidence, and then you get on a live on social media and you share it. This is a great way of adding value to people, because Facebook is going to help you show it to many other persons, 10, 20, 50 persons, 100 persons. And when they watch it, you've added value to their lives. Most of them, you may not even know, they may not even see now that they watched it, but you are adding value, you are increasing the deposits in your relational account. So the checking in with people, you know, checking in with people, right? Reaching out to people and not actually trying to sell or recruit them. You're actually adding value to them. You know, a book or a podcast recommendation. You can recommend a book to someone. You can send over an article or a video which you've learned, which actually added value to you, was inspiring to you. You could share this with your friends. You could share this with your family members. It adds value to them. And all of these, you can use them as your follow-up strategy. Once they tell you no, you can already begin to say after 2 days, 3 days, 7 days, you're going to, most probably use one of these techniques, to add value to them. So another way of adding value is something you have learned in your journey related to your products. Also share your personal growth with them, like what I'm doing with you today. This is what I've learned, and today, I've taken the responsibility to prepare this and share, with our pure community. So open your notebooks, most probably what you've learned today. Tomorrow evening, you can go on a live video and you just share, that you are on a leadership program and you like to share some of your takeaways. This is what you learned, and just share with them. You never know, one key thing could change someone's life. So just simply checking back with them with sincere interest are very, very, very good ways, of providing value. So in conclusion, I'm sure this is the last slide, talking about our warm market. This is the reason why you should never give up on helping your home market. The fact that you're looking at it from a service mindset, and that there are so many ways you can keep providing value. So I learned this life-changing reality that if we have not gotten the results which you want from your home market, it is because you have not done a good enough job on adding value. So maybe the time wasn't the right time. They said no. Maybe your relational account balance was not high enough for you to actually do a withdrawal, or maybe you just flat out did it wrong. Most probably you were just starting out, you did it completely wrong, you trembled, you said the complete wrong words, and they said no. So this is an opportunity, things can always change, and this is an opportunity, for you to go back to them, with a complete new approach, and you are going to see a completely different result. So just set out a follow-up plan, how you're going to provide value, and you're thinking from a you're thinking from a service mindset, providing value, and doing that over a period of time, you'll be able to get back, and when you get back into a withdrawal, certainly the answer is going to be yes someday. Thank you very much, and that is what I had for all of us this evening. Tilas, over to you.